Hi everyone, I'm here today with my student Rocky, and I'm going to just have a general interview questions with Rocky. He's one of my students who's been with me for over a year now. And how you doing today, Rocky?
Doing very well, Guru. Thank you.
Okay, good. Now don't be too stiff, you know what my wife says. My wife thinks Rocky is very strong and very upright, and she goes, he's good for me because when I do videos with him I always look smaller. So that's a good thing. I think that's a compliment.
Thank you.
But anyway, Rocky, tell me, why did you first choose to come here for training?
Well, I initially wanted to learn, as a martial artist, to learn new skills, new styles and techniques, and I always wanted to learn Philippine martial arts. But and I really originally contacted you. That's why I think I asked you if you taught Eskrima or Kali. But then again, the idea that you brought to me, there's a different level of training which focuses specifically on knife defense and offense, and that intrigued me as well. So I thought that was something new and novel, and here I am.
Okay. Well, I'm personally glad that you came, because you've been a huge asset and addition to our classes.
Oh, thank you, Guru.
Now, you yourself are an instructor in several different arts, right? I mean, you're black belt, a former black belt in Taekwondo.
Well, yes, I trained in other martial arts, specifically, yes, I trained in ITF style type of Taekwondo, only first dan. But my first style that I practiced for the longest was Northern Shaolin, so Chinese Kung Fu background. I also trained very heavily and a lot in Wing Chun as well. Two styles of Wing Chun.
Mm-hmm. So good. Did you find my teaching and my class different than the other?
Absolutely. The most important aspect of any martial arts is practicality and implementation. So I found that a lot in this class, which was very good. Every technique lesson learned was applied and learned for its practical use, which was very good.
Now, I know that a couple of times you brought your kids over. I mean, they're not like children, but they're in college age. And I'm glad you did. Can I ask what you thought about bringing them over here?
Oh, yes. I think this is a type of training that is beneficial. That's why I brought my kids. And I would definitely, once they finish college, they come over to continue training. And this is definitely a type of skills set that they could use in real life and practical. And, every person should learn some martial arts, some more than others, because, like I said, for practical reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is definitely something excellent that they can use.
All right. Well, I'm very glad that I got a chance to meet your kids and work with them. Normally, I don't teach people under the age of 23, but I met your kids and they were very mature and responsible for their age, and I like their attitude, so I embrace them, and I'm glad that they're here with us, and I'm glad that you have somebody that you can work with them at home, because obviously it's hard to develop just solo, but when you have partners you can practice with, you definitely get better.
That's true, Guru. Thank you.
Okay. It's one of the things I think that make the Filipino martial arts and knife training good, is that having partner practice and aggressive practice, as it were, you're able to develop skills faster.
Yes, absolutely.
If you think, are there any negatives to your training here? You can be totally honest there.
No, absolutely not. I found that every aspect of the training was you learn from it, and it's something that new and novel. Like I said, I've never had knife training before. I mean, in various styles we did defend against the knife, or with somebody do this, but it was all very formal and how can I put it, formula, like very
choreographed.
Right, choreographed. And it's not, to me, when I think back on it compared to our training, it's not real life situation, because you know, like, you bring aspects, different variables too of what possibilities can happen, and that's very good.
Now, one of the things that I like to do when I teach my classes is to highlight different video clips and different actual situations that have occurred in real life, murders, killings, robberies, that type of thing. Do you find that useful?
Absolutely, Guru, absolutely. It really, a lot of times opens your eyes up. I mean, when you read the news all the time and you, about these kind of attacks, and you're horrified, but when you actually visually see it, and not only that, when you also simulate it, you're saying, well, let's duplicate this situation. How would we anticipate? How would we react or defend against such an attack? Now, that is excellent as well.
Okay. Yeah, I actually pride myself on you know, I hope you guys don't mind, but I consider myself the Bill Belichick, as it were, of knife videos. You know, in terms of like how I analyze and approach our development based off what we see on these camera videos of actual knifings that have occurred. And what I do is I generally teach my guys you know, different aspects of how would we prevent that from happening, how would we approach helping someone in those situations, so on and so forth. And it's very practical, very useful, I find. More than many other, there are different groups out there who do similar things, but they describe what occurred, but they don't talk about how to correct it or how to react or what could be done to better prepare for those things. Do you agree, disagree?
No, I absolutely agree. And after my experience, it's really eye-opening, and it's very scary, because that's exactly the kind of world we live in. So you have to be prepared and alert and have the skills to defend yourself. If that
right. Would you say that in your training here that we tend to be a bit more physical than other training you've done elsewhere?
Oh yeah, it's very physical, more so in fact. But it's good, because you really need that kind of physicality. Well, otherwise, it'll all be just theory you're talking about. Mm-hmm. So you know, when you apply in real life, and also when you have your fellow students, and not everybody's at like the same height, same weight. You have different types of people. You have big people, small people, strong people, weak people, and it makes, it's very, you know, puts in that fact and variable as well, and it's very good.
Okay. The last thing I'll ask is, you know, we got the fist gear and the head gear, and we've been using gloves for safety. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I think it's excellent. Any martial artist should have the right tools to practice with, and that's just another set of tools, and it's very good because that adds in we can put in a little more physical contact. We have you know, when you're actually being struck, naturally, it's still controlled with the headgear, but we give enough force that we can still feel it, mm-hmm. and not get hurt. And that's very good, because we need that kind of contact. And you cannot be afraid to get hit or hit. So that, again, the gear is very excellent.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for today. Thank you, Rocky, for sitting in and being the subject of today's interview.
Oh, thank you.
It's very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay. Guys, if you like what you've seen on our video clips, please subscribe to my channel, A High Art. If you're here in the New York City area and you would like to join us for knife training, please do so. You could check us out at ahighart.com or knifetraining.nyc. Okay? Rocky, thank you.
Thank you, Guru.
All right. Bye-bye now.